13.8 billion years ago, the universe began. In one moment, there was nothing, and the next, there was everything. But perhaps the most unsettling question we can ask ourselves in the quiet of the night is not how this happened, but why. Was it all a meticulous blueprint drawn by an unknowable cosmic architect? Or is the universe, with all its laws, constants, and staggering complexity, merely a coincidence of epic proportions? What if the universe was never designed at all? This question strikes at the very heart of our existence. For millennia, humanity has looked to the stars and seen the hand of a creator. The order, the beauty, the very fine-tuning of the cosmos. It all seems to point toward intention. But what if that is simply an illusion of our own making? What if the universe is just there? A chaotic, purposeless, and entirely natural occurrence that happened to spit out a patch of space and time that is conscious enough to wonder about its own origin. Today, we are going to descend the rabbit hole of the never-designed universe. It is a journey that will strip away the comforting blanket of intelligent design and force us to confront a reality far stranger, far more elegant, and perhaps far more terrifying than any mythology. We will see that the universe's deepest secret is not a grand plan, but a beautiful and brutal accident. For most of our existence, creation was a simple concept. You built a shelter, you crafted a tool, you planted a seed. This is how the world works. Things are made. So it was a natural, almost inescapable leap to believe that the world itself was made. The first civilizations gazed upon the vastness of the sky and saw a canvas, painted by the hands of gods. The sun was a fiery chariot. The stars were holes poked in a celestial curtain, and humanity was the centerpiece of it all. This was the design hypothesis, an intuitive and deeply human way of understanding the chaos. But as the millennia passed, a crack began to form in this comfortable narrative. The first blow came from the cosmos itself. In the 16th century, Nicholas Copernicus dared to suggest that Earth was not the center of the universe. The Earth, and by extension humanity, was not the centerpiece, but a satellite of a star. And that star, the sun, was just another point of light in an endless sea of stars. This was the first deconstruction of design. If God made the universe for us, why put us in the cosmic suburbs? Why not center stage? The heliocentric model and the subsequent realization that our sun is a yellow dwarf on a remote arm of a spiral galaxy in a universe of trillions of such galaxies dethroned us. We were no longer the lord of the manor, but a random tenant in a city of 1 billion skyscrapers. Yet the universe still seemed designed for us. The physics were perfect. The chemistry was perfect. The very constants of nature, the gravitational constant, the electromagnetic force, the strong and weak nuclear forces, were so exquisitely balanced that if they were even slightly different, the universe would be a lifeless waste of inert gas or a seething sea of black holes. Life, as we know it, would be impossible. The physicist Freeman Dyson famously said that the universe appears to be constructed by a mathematician of enormous skill. This fine-tuning felt like the fingerprints of a cosmic clockmaker. But what if that clockmaker was never there? What if the numbers are just random? What if the universe is not fine-tuned, but we are fine-tuned to the universe? You see, the universe is not obligated to produce life. It is obligated to be the universe. And a universe that can produce life will produce life forms that look at the universe and marvel at how perfectly it was made for them. It is a profound logical trap. The puddle of water, marveling at how perfectly the pothole in the road is shaped to fit its form. The hole was not made for the water. The water simply filled it. The cosmos was not made for us. We are a byproduct of its mechanical chaos. The design is not in the architecture. It is in the eye of the beholder. To understand how the universe could be designed, we must first understand the designer we are replacing. For centuries, the argument for intelligent design was simple. You don't find a watch on a beach and assume the tides wash the components together. That implies a watchmaker. Similarly, you see the human eye, or the DNA molecule, which is essentially a complex biological code. And you assume a biological coder, a genetic engineer. This watchmaker argument is powerful because it appeals to our common sense and our experience of reality. But in the 19th century, a quiet, unassuming naturalist named Charles Darwin would shatter this analogy. He discovered that the design of life is an illusion. The eye was not crafted in a single moment by a divine watchmaker. It was built over billions of years by a blind, pitiless process called natural selection. In this process, there is no designer, there is no engineer, there is only a tinkerer. Natural selection is a tinkerer of the highest order. It takes what is there, copies it with error, and keeps what works. It is a machine that builds complexity from scratch, not by planning for the future, but by reacting to the present. This is the great secret that biology teaches us. Just as the pothole is not designed for the puddle, the eye is not designed for the light. The light existed, and the puddle of biology adapted to it, and this tinkering is messy. A designer would build a well-engineered spine with comfortable cushions. A designer would not route a nerve from the brain, down the neck, loop under the aorta, and then travel back up to the larynx, a 15-foot detour in a giraffe. That is not design. That is a kludge. That is the history of a creature that grew a longer neck over millions of generations, and the nerve got pulled along for the ride. The universe of biology is not a showcase of intelligent creation. It is a warehouse of evolutionary leftovers, a junk drawer of fate. So, if biology can be explained without a designer, can the cosmos itself? Can we explain the laws of physics, the constants of nature, and the origin of the universe without the need for a cosmic watchmaker? To do that, we have to take the genius of Darwin and apply it to the universe itself. We must ask, did the universe have to be this way? Or is there a mechanism, another kind of tinkerer, at play on a cosmological scale? This brings us to a radical idea known as the anthropic principle. It states that the universe must have the properties that allow life to observe it, because if it didn't, we wouldn't be here to notice. This might seem like a tautology, a circular argument, but it is profoundly liberating. It suggests that the universe's design is a selection effect. We are not observing a universe that is designed for us. We are observing a universe that happens to have the parameters that allow us to exist because we are the one doing the observing. The universe doesn't need to be perfect for life, it just needs to be one of the universes that produce life. But the anthropic principle is only half the story. It tells us why we are here, but not how we got here. To solve the how, physicists have developed a theory that is the cosmological equivalent of Darwinian evolution. It is a theory that requires no design, no plan, and no intelligent force. It is a theory that allows the universe to be an accident, a random occurrence in a multiverse of possibilities. This is the ultimate departure from a designed universe. We have to travel back to the very beginning, to the Planck era, to the quantum foam. to a time of such unimaginable energy and chaos that the laws of physics as we know them were just suggestions. In the first 10 tredecillionth of a second after the Big Bang, the universe was the size of a quantum fluctuation. And in this quantum realm, the certainty of design evaporates. Quantum mechanics tells us that at the fundamental level, the universe is not deterministic. It is probabilistic. Things happen without a cause. Particles pop into and out of existence. They exist in multiple states at once. In this framework, the concept of a blueprint is meaningless. You cannot plan a reality where a particle can be in two places at once until you look at it. This inherent randomness, this quantum anarchy, is the foundation of the never-designed universe. The laws of physics, which seem so elegant and precise, are not a set of rules handed down from on high. They are emergent properties, like temperature or pressure, which arise from the collective behavior of trillions of particles. They are the habits of a system, not its commandment. And what if the Big Bang itself was a quantum fluctuation? What if our universe is simply a bubble that formed in a vast roiling sea of vacuum energy? This is the idea behind the multiverse. In this scenario, our universe is not a custom-built house. It is a randomly formed bubble in a cosmic foam. The constants of physics, the speed of light, the mass of the electron, the strength of gravity, are not fine-tuned. They are just the values that happen to emerge in our particular bubble. It is the result of cosmic natural selection. Imagine a landscape, a string theory landscape, with billions upon billions of possible universes, each with different laws of physics. In some, gravity is too strong and the universe collapses instantly. In others, the electromagnetic force is too weak and atoms never form. In most of these universes, nothing interesting happens. They are stillborn or sterile. But in a tiny minority, the constants are just right. Stars form, chemistry happens, and eventually, life, or at least complexity, emerges, and those are the universes that end up asking questions about their own design. It is the cosmological version of survival of the fittest. The universes that are fit to produce observers are the ones that have observers. This is the theory of cosmological natural selection, proposed by Lee Smolin. Smolin argued that black holes, the most extreme objects in the universe, are a key part of this evolutionary process. In this theory, universes that produce many black holes are reproductive because new universes are born from the singularities inside black holes with slightly different parameters. It is a breathtaking concept. The entire cosmos is a Darwinian machine where universes are created, live, and die, passing on their genetic code of physics to the next generation. This completely removes the need for a designer. The universe is not an artifact. It is an organism. It is self-creating. The rules we see are not the result of a grand design, but the winners of a billion cosmic competitions. The fine-tuning is not a signal of a designer. It is a signal that we are in one of the surviving branches of cosmic evolution. And if the universe was never designed, what about time itself? The concept of a creator requires a creator that exists before the creation. But what if there was no before? Stephen Hawking, in his famous work on the no-boundary proposal, posited that asking what happened before the Big Bang is like asking what is north of the North Pole. There is no north. Similarly, there is no before the universe. Time itself, as we understand it, is a dimension of the universe. It was born with the universe. It did not exist prior. In a designed universe, the creator exists outside of time, in an eternal now. But if time is part of the system, then there is no outside. There is just the system. If the universe is just a system, a self-contained, law-abiding machine, it raises a terrifying question. What is the point? If we are not the center of the show, if we are not the cherished creation of a benevolent deity, what does that mean for our lives? For our morality? For our meaning? This is the existential darkness that often surrounds atheism and materialism. If the universe was never designed, then humanity is just a biochemical reaction on a wet rock orbiting a mundane star in a humdrum galaxy. But this is a defeatist and, quite frankly, childish perspective. If we are a product of randomness, it means we are not children of a king, we are children of the stars. We are the way the universe experiences itself. The universe is not a designed artifact, it is a phenomenon. And a phenomenon doesn't need a purpose to be extraordinary. The Grand Canyon doesn't need a purpose, it is beautiful. A supernova doesn't need a purpose, it is awe-inspiring. A nebula that creates a star system doesn't need a purpose, it is a magnificent display of physics. If the universe was never designed, our existence is the result of a great chain of unlikelihoods. It means that the atoms in our bodies were forged in the hearts of exploding stars. It means that the carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen that make us possible were created through a series of cosmic coincidences that should never have occurred. It means that life on Earth survived an incredible gauntlet of extinction events, from asteroid impacts to ice ages. We are not just the product of one unlikely event, we are the product of billions of unlikely events. Why should this be liberating? Because it means we are not bound by a script. If there is no divine plan, there is no cosmic will to which we must submit. There is no fate set in stone. There is only the universe and our consciousness within it. We are not the puppets of a divine puppet master. We are the puppeteers of our own lives. This brings us to the role of complexity and the phenomenon of emergence. The never-designed universe is not simple. It is incredibly complex. And from that complexity, from the sea of particles and forces, arises something wholly new: consciousness, creativity, and purpose. The concept of emergence shows us how a system can have properties that its individual components do not have. Water is wet, but a single water molecule is not. A brain is conscious, but a single neuron is not. A society is a society, but a single human is not. The same is true for the universe. The universe might be a chaotic, purposeless collection of particles, but the arrangement of those particles can produce something that finds meaning. The purpose of the universe, if it has one, is not written in its physics. It is written in our aspirations. Our meaning is not given to us from the outside. It is created by us from the inside. If God does not exist, we are not slaves to a divine plan. We are free. We are free to invent our own meaning. We are free to be kind without expecting a reward. We are free to pursue knowledge without fearing the answer. If the universe was never designed, we are not passengers on a cosmic journey. We are the drivers. We are the ones who must make the universe interesting, who must fill the vast, cold, dark expanse with the warmth of empathy, the light of discovery, and the beauty of art. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence is a perfect example of this philosophy. We search for radio signals from other civilizations, hoping to find someone else out there. In a designed universe, this might be seen as a fool's errand. Why would God create life elsewhere if he was focused on us? But in a never-designed universe, we are just one experiment of many. We expect to find others because the process of chemistry and evolution is natural and likely to repeat itself. The lack of design implies a universe of infinite possibilities. And the assumption that we are alone is, from a statistical standpoint, the most arrogant and unlikely position to hold. The more we learn about the universe, the more we see how ordinary we are. We are made of the same basic elements as everything else. Our planet is a standard issue rocky world. Our star is a standard issue yellow dwarf. We are not special. And that is what makes us special. Because we are ordinary matter that became self-aware. In a designed universe, science is about finding the intent of the Creator. It is a form of code breaking. In a never-designed universe, science is about understanding the process. It is about discovering the rules of the game. It is a form of exploration. And it is far more exciting to explore a self-made cosmos than to simply decode a message from a superior being. Consider the James Webb Space Telescope. Its purpose is to look back in time to see the first galaxies forming. It has discovered galaxies that are too big, too well-formed, too designed for our current models. It creates anxiety in scientists because it challenges our understanding. But in the context of a never-designed universe, these anomalies are not threats to a divine plan. They are clues about the process. They are evidence that the cosmos is more creative, more efficient, and more improbable than we ever imagined. These anomalies are the engine of discovery. If the universe was never designed, then the ultimate law of the universe is not love or order or some moral code. The ultimate law is entropy. The universe is moving from order to disorder, from heat to cold, from complexity to nothing. This is the second law of thermodynamics. And it is perhaps the most terrifying truth of physics. It says that eventually all stars will burn out, all black holes will evaporate, and all matter will decay into a thin, uniform soup of energy. The universe will experience a heat death. In a designed universe, there would be an eternal afterlife. In a never-designed universe, there is only the here and now. The heat death is a profound idea. It means that everything we build, everything we love, everything we are, is eventually destined for oblivion. It seems like a cruel joke. But wait, this is the single most important shift in perspective. A designed universe gives us an external purpose. A never-designed universe forces us to invent our own. But it also gives us an internal urgency. If the universe is finite, then every moment is precious. If the universe is going to die, then we must make the best of the time we have. The heat death is not an argument for nihilism. It is an argument for urgency. It is a call to action. If we are the only consciousness in the universe, or even if we are not, we have a responsibility to be good stewards of our little patch of reality. We cannot wait for a cosmic savior. We cannot submit to a divine plan. We have to save ourselves. We have to create the world we want to live in. The concept of the Anthropocene, the age of man, is a testament to this reality. We are shaping the planet. We are becoming the designers. The only question is what kind of designers we will be. Let's go back to the beginning. We ask, what if the universe was never designed? It is a possibility that offers us a mirror. It reflects back a reality that is both humbling and empowering. Humbling because we are not the center of everything. We are not the masterpiece. Empowering because we are not the puppets. We are the puppeteers. We must look at the fine-tuning of the universe in a new light. It is not a signature of God. It is a signature of a cosmic lottery. It is the ticket that allowed us to exist. And now that we have the ticket, what do we do with it? Do we argue about whose imaginary friend created the universe? Or do we work together to understand and enjoy it? The greatest scientists of history, Einstein, Darwin, Newton, did not believe in a personal God. They believed in a universe that was elegant, that was beautiful, and that was ultimately understandable. They believed in nature. Their faith was not in a designer, but in the process. They found the elegance of physics to be divine, not because it was a plan, but because it was a surprising fact. If the universe was never designed, then the divine is simply the order of the cosmos. And there is a profound beauty in that. A geometric snowflake is perfect, but it was never designed. It is a product of the laws of physics. A star is a furnace that converts matter into energy, but it was never designed. It is a product of gravity. A life form is a complex machine for replicating information, but it was never designed. It is a product of evolution. The design is in the eye of the beholder, and the beholder is just another product of the very laws they are attempting to explain. In the 20th century, the quantum revolution revealed that the universe is participatory. The observer affects the observed. We are not passive observers of reality, we are active participants. This is the deep meaning of the never-designed universe. We are not simply waking up in a play that has already been written. We are waking up in a play that is being written as we perform it. The actors are the playwrights. This final realization makes the universe far more intimate than any design theory. A designer is distant, external, and imposing. A self-creating universe is immediate, internal, and inviting. We are not the children of a distant king. We are the universe's own consciousness exploring itself. So, what if the universe was never designed? It is the ultimate act of liberation. It removes the chains of destiny and places the weight of choice firmly on our shoulders. It does not answer our questions for us, it demands that we answer them ourselves. It does not provide a purpose, it gives us the freedom to create one. It is a universe of chaos, yes, but chaos creates order. It is a universe of death, but death creates life. It is a universe of accidents, but accidents create miracles. We are the miracle. Not because we were designed, but because we happened. And in a universe of infinite time and space, the rarest thing is consciousness. We are a tiny spark of awareness in an endless sea of darkness. We are a moment of complexity in a universe that tends toward simplicity. We are an act of rebellion against the heat death, a brief stand against the void. And whether we were designed or not, that brief stand is the most beautiful thing in the cosmos. From the quantum foam to the cosmic web, the story of the universe is a story of self-organization. It is a story of particles that learn to dance, to bond, to form atoms, to form stars, to form planets, to form life, to form us. And in that journey, there is no designer. There is only the dance. And the dance is infinitely more interesting when you realize that no one is leading. We are the ones leading. We are the ones who choose the steps. So, let us choose wisely. Let us be the universe that creates art, that knows kindness, that seeks truth. Let us be a universe that is worthy of the fantastic, chaotic, and fortunate accident of our own existence. Because if the universe was never designed, then the design is up to us. And that is the most terrifying and wonderful responsibility we could ever have. The never-designed universe is not a cold, empty void. It is a canvas. It is a stage. It is a workshop. And we are the painters, the actors, and the craftsmen. The universe is our experiment, our masterpiece, our home. And it is our responsibility to ensure that, even though it was never designed, it is still worth existing. We are the universe's way of asking the question, And the answer, perhaps, is this: we are the only design there ever was. We are the purpose that was never given, but must be created. And that, in the end, is what makes it all so compelling. The universe is not a puzzle to be solved. It is a story to be written. And it is our story to write. We began by asking, what if the universe was never designed? We have traveled from the birth of stars to the death of galaxies. We have contemplated the multiverse and the quantum realm. We have seen that the very laws of nature are not a blueprint but a habit. We have seen that complexity emerges from chaos, and that consciousness is a byproduct of that emergence. We have seen that the fine-tuning of the universe is not a signature of a creator but a selection effect of a multiverse. But the most important discovery is that this reality is not a tragedy, it is an opportunity. In a universe without a designer, we are not servants, we are free. We are not programmed, we are creative. We are not lost, we are explorers. We must look to the skies not with a sense of awe at a creator's masterpiece, but with a sense of wonder at our own potential. We must look to the future not with fear of a divine judgment, but with hope for a human-made utopia. We must look to ourselves not as fallen angels, but as rising apes. There is an ancient story, a parable, that asks, is God a gardener? The answer is no. The universe is a wild, untamed jungle. It was never planted. It grew. It grew from a seed of energy that contained all the laws of physics, and from that seed, the jungle grew. It is full of predators and prey, of stunning beauty and brutal decay. It is a jungle of chaos, but it is our jungle, and we are the ones who must now tend to it. And so, we should not fear the lack of design. We should embrace it. It is the final curtain on the childhood of humanity. We are leaving the nursery of religion and mythology and stepping into the cold, bright light of the adult world. The universe is not our parent. It is our home. And we are the ones who must furnish it, decorate it, and fill it with meaning. The question is not whether the universe was designed. The question is what we will design now that we are here. Will we design a world of war and hatred? Or will we design a world of peace and cooperation? Will we design a future of ignorance, or will we design a future of knowledge? The choice, for the first time in history, is entirely ours. We are at the precipice. We stand on the shoulders of giants who discovered that the earth is not flat, that the sun is not the center, that we are not alone, and that the universe is not designed. And now, we must take the next step. We must become the designers. We must invent our own meaning, our own morality, and our own purpose. Because the universe wasn't designed for us to live in it. It was designed by us living in it. The narrative is not finished. The story is not over. It is still being written. And we are the authors. What will you write next?